Okay, now I'm on the right mic. All right. Let's see. All right, there we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome, welcome in. Already, I apologize, having some technical issues. Apparently, I don't know how to use Windows anymore. So something with my internet. Well, not my internet, with the network connection. I can't get to the I'm running some software that might fuck some things up, some customization software, and yeah, it may have screwed some things up because Windows installed some updates and then that screwed some things up. I can't get to the Wi-Fi connection menu. The taskbar doesn't bring up the Wi-Fi connection. The network connection. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Yeah, so this stream might be. I'm trying to connect my good camera. Hi, I got the web camera going. It kind of screws up my whole thing. I don't know why that doesn't show up there. And then you can't get to it through the settings app. Like network and internet. It doesn't connect to the Ethernet. But I can't, there's no like connect, where's the connection to the frickin' advanced network settings? Why the fuck does... great start here. There's no, where's the connect to a network option? So I've got my computer plugged into Ethernet to the router, so it's hardwired. But then I have a Wi-Fi card on the computer also that I connect to my camera. That's how I get the camera to connect to the computer. But I can't get to the Wi-Fi join a network thing. There's no, like it should be on the taskbar, but that doesn't do anything. I've got the Bluetooth. No. Am I just stupid? Do I just not know how to use Windows? Ah, boy. I was gonna try to just jump on a stream and do some image processing real quick here in PixInsight. But yeah, I don't know what's happening here. Can I get there through the control panel? Yeah, no, that's just Ethernet. Hey, what's up, Ninja Galapi? Sorry, having oh wait, what the heck? Having some computer issues. Why does my Wi-Fi network not even show up? Oh, wait, is my Wi-Fi card not even working? That's weird. Yeah, that's very strange. Thanks, Windows. Of course, I installed some updates and then, you know, it decided to break things. So, yeah, that's what's going on the stream today. Yeah. Yeah, so now I see a... Let me see if I can... My, oh, that is a zoomed one. My Wi-Fi card, it shows a little exclamation point. Let's try disabling and re-enabling it. Okay, there it is. Now it shows. Okay. Sun's out, guns out, baby. Okay, there we go. For some reason, okay, Windows just decided that my Wi-Fi card was not working. Yeah, I felt like it's like the tank tops, the wife appreciator shirts. They get buried in the bottom of the drawer in the winter, and then I find them. So, anyways. Okay, all right. I think maybe we're in action here. All right, camera trying to connect. Yeah, Wi-Fi network's available. All right, and connect to the camera. All right, I think we're good. It is getting a bit hot in here. Oh, stupid fucking no. God. This fucking shit is cringe. All right, whatever, it'll work. Okay, there I am. All right, got the good camera to work. Jesus Christ. Sometimes shit. Nah, fuck it. I'm getting off stream as I'm frustrated. No. We're good. All right, back in business. I got some weird shit. Bottom line is, I got some weird, there's like some weird sort of Windows hack custom software that makes Windows 11 work like Windows 10, that is sort of fixes Windows 11. And I just use that for just customizing the UI to make it less shitty. Basically to restore the functionality that they removed from Windows 10 when going to Windows 11. And that worked fine for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then Windows decided to update. And then of course it broke. Because that's, I mean, it was inevitable that was going to happen. Yeah, a little troubleshooting Windows, talking shit about Windows 11 stream is what you guys were all looking for, right? That's the most exciting stuff. And this is what we're here for. Some astrophotography. Yeah. Process icons. So I'm up to like 11 hours now of exposure time on the Ring Nebula here. And so here's the fresh hot stack. Looks pretty good. The Ring Nebula itself is super bright, so it's blown out in the auto stretch, but it is not. You can see there is lots of data in there. The auto stretch shows the bright region blown out. We'll process it so it won't be blown out, but we get these fainter outer regions. So there's like the main structure, and then there's this faint outer region that there's like ripples and waves that go out, but it's very faint. And so capturing that from the light pollution and with a color camera is kind of tricky. So you need a lot of integration time to get that. So I'm up to like 11 hours. And so let's process this. Obviously, I've got some pretty bad, well, not too bad. Pretty consistent gradient, actually. It's just kind of a reddish to greenish gradient, which you expect from the duo narrowband filter that I am running. And so let's see. We want to do flux calibration, and we'll do the multi-scale gradient correction tool for working on this. Make an alt-as type JWST inspired telescope. Yeah, that could be cool. Are you talking about trying to do a segmented mirror? Yeah. Hey, Heisenberg, what's up? Yes, this is DBS 150 data. Yeah, about 11 hours of dual narrowband filter data. Sorry. Yeah, getting the number of mirrors. And my understanding is with these segmented mirrors is it's not just the number of mirrors, but each mirror is not a parabola. Each mirror is a section of a parabola, right? So the ones on the outside are going to be more flat than the ones on the inside. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think so, because you're going to put a bunch of things, well, put a bunch of things together and make a parabola. It needs to be, right? The outside ones would need to be a different shape. But getting them aligned would be very tricky. So yeah, Heisenberg, this is DBS 150 data, and this is pretty much the only target I can shoot from my balcony this time of year. At least the only target that has colorful nebulosity. Fortunately, it's still pretty neato. Okay, we will do, oh, it's not color calibration yet. We want to do gradient correction. And I think I usually just increase the gradient scale on here. And we'll run that and see. Yes, yes. There's a great video from Breaking Taps on YouTube about the actual mechanism that they use for adjusting those mirrors. It's quite interesting. Let me find that for you. Oh yeah, I mean that would be cool. So there's the gradient it removed, and yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah.
The James Webb Space Telescope. Everything from the reflector.
I think we actually watched this on the stream at one time.
The cryo cooler keeping the instrumentation super cold. The ultralight I've seen in quite a while.
So this is the device.
I decided to build one. These actuators are required because JWST's primary mirror is composed of 18 hexagonal segments. And these segments eventually will form a concave ellipsoid, which will reflect the light into the instruments. But this is a really challenging task because each of the segments needs to be aligned in 7 degrees of freedom to nanometer precision, which is difficult on Earth, let alone on a satellite out in space. The actuator that we're looking at today handles the kind of kinematic adjustments. So there's tip, tilt, roll, Y translation.
Yeah, I'll just kind of show you the
which
device.
has some technical drawings and a few critical details about the gear train and dimensions of the actuator. And from that, I managed to essentially...
Anyways, that's what that is. Feel free to enjoy that on your own time. We've got some astro to process. Okay, gradient removed. I think pretty good, pretty easy gradient to remove. And so now we will color calibrate. Pretty simple first few steps to get the image gradient removed and calibrated. I need to process this image. Actually, I have one more too, because I need content for my next video, the video about the wedge that I built for my scope. This I've been imaging. Always good to show some, some results, some pictures, and so we will do that. So the core is still totally blown out, but don't worry, the data is still there. And let's blur exterminate. We can bring the sharpen non-stellar up quite a bit. Astrotaka, what's up, brother? I don't think I've seen many astro pics from you lately. Have you been able to get imaging? Maybe you've had clouds or busy with other life stuff. My legs are sweaty. It is summertime, by the way. All right, we have blur has been extermed. Stars look nice and sharp after that. So now we will remove the stars. I feel like maybe I'm still seeing gradient around there. Yeah, I'm not really happy with that. I'm gonna back up. Let me back this ass up here. Gradient removal is tricky because it's one of the first steps you do, but the effect of it you may not notice until towards the end. What's up, Cheap Astro? Yeah, man. I got my summertime vibes. Summertime, California sunset, tank top. It's quite warm. All right, so that's the gradient that it removed. Looks pretty similar to before. I guess that's okay. Just kind of like the angle that I look at my monitor. It's probably my monitor's kind of too big. So like depending on the viewing angle, you know, it can look a little bit different, especially with glare and reflections and stuff. So I caught the tail end of your new video premiere there, Nugsy. Looks like you're getting that scope put back together. Have you been able to get some imaging time out on it at all? This is the Asus PG42UQ or something like that. It's a 42-inch 4K display. It's kind of ridiculous. It is awesome. It is a phenomenally beautiful display. But it's maybe a little bit impractical. Like I probably should be like here. I like to be just like I want to be in the scene, you know. Actually, the real reason I bought it was for flight sim. Flight sim, then you definitely want to be in the scene. So, but I'm not really flight simming these days, so now it's just a kind of a gluttonous display. Okay, let's see. We have now I lost track of where I was. Color calibrated. Yes, spectrophotometric color calibration, good. Okay, clear the preview. Now we'll go back to Blur Exterminator. We'll redo the extermination of the blur. Yeah, it's a gaming monitor. It says a pretty high refresh rate, 138 hertz. What's up, Splashy? I'm good, man. Summertime. I'm feeling it. Oh, okay. Yeah. They make like the same monitor in like in a 48-inch version. Like that's definitely too big. Okay. The blur is fucked right off. Let's murder the stars now. So this monitor is the panel, the actual LCD panel is, I believe, an LG panel, and you can get the same panel in the LG television, but there's like some issues with using a television as a computer monitor, and that subtracted some of the nebulosity. Look at that. That's weird. I haven't seen that before. Well, that's not going to be any good. We don't want that. And now we got to play around with Star Exterminator to get it to not remove that. So you can get the same panel in the LG monitor, which is a little bit cheaper, but it's LG TV. But the difference between a TV and a monitor is like there's different kind of software stuff going on, and so particularly with an OLED display, like a TV can be kind of an issue because it'll want to auto dim on you, and it can do kind of weird things. Like this is doing a kind of weird things and removing. Why is it removing the frickin' the nebulosity here? That is super weird. Yeah, Taka, not 2024. I haven't got onto 2024. I keep hearing some things. So, yeah, I just have 2020. Maybe I'll get 2024 one day. I don't use a star mask. Yeah, it needs to be not removed, because if it's removed, well, when I do the star processing, it'll get weird. Let's see. We'll try just different versions of the AI here. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, Flight Sim 2024. I'm sure you heard, like, when they released it was a complete disaster. Well, at least like the first day. And I watch a lot of flight sim streamers. There's a lot of guys that are fun flight sim streamers, and they're still having issues from time to time with 2024. So I don't know. I'm so sick of software releases that are like broken and incomplete. That's like, I'm not gonna support these companies anymore, you know. Splashy, this is the Ring Nebula M57. I'm zoomed in quite a bit here. Having trouble with Star Exterminator subtracting part of the nebulosity, which every now and then it does get confused. Now it's not even removing stars. What in the... Oh, I keep applying star. I forgot to undo it. It's not removing stars because there's no stars. So I applied it to the starless image. No, just ring, not the ring bell. There's the ring nebula, and then there's the dumbbell nebula not too far from there. Both are planetary nebula. Yeah, that pulled out more nebulosity. What in the ass? Oh, now we're not blur exterminated. This is the nothing's working stream. Yeah, M57 is a ring nebula. Pretty small in the sky, but very bright, very brilliant to look at in a telescope. But kind of difficult to image because it's so small. And then you have the M27 is the dumbbell nebula. Is it M27? Yeah, 27. It's quite a bit larger. Yeah, it's still subtracting nebulosity there. It's so weird. Why? M47. I think that's just a star cluster. Yeah, M47 is an open cluster. Oh, 2 clusters and a hidden nebula. Yeah, that could be fun. Oh, yeah. There's a there is a nebula in M47 though, a planetary nebula, very small. Yeah. DBS 50. What was the total figure to build it? Well, let's see. I spent 400 because I bought the GSO scope and then I pulled the mirrors out. The mirrors themselves, I think, are probably about 250 for the GSO mirrors. So like minimum 250. You need a focuser, like that's 350. The carbon tubes 400. The material to print it somewhere around 500 maybe, depending on what kind of hardware and what kind of materials you go with to print it. Yeah, new moon's next week, Splashy. Why? Man, that is so frustrating. Yeah, not too bad. You know, it's a lot of effort, a lot of time to build and get things, you know, working right. I need to get StarNet installed again. Yeah. Okay, the solution. Well, let's see. I'm just gonna reset it. Oh, that sounds fun. Wow. It's still like that. This looks nothing like a star. Why would it remove? That's so frustrating. So in the past, what I've done is created a mask. And I guess I'm gonna have to do that with this one. Luckily, SETI Astro has a script called Fame for manually generating masks. So, like, shouldn't have to do this. Should be like pretty straightforward, but some days it's like that, isn't it, man? I had like network issues before, like right when I started, couldn't get the camera to connect, and oh, you're too far north in the summertime for astrophotography. That sucks. All right, so we generate a mask. Let me see if that did the right. Oh, not quite. That's not what we wanted. Oh, can I even do that? Then, because I want a mask with a hole in the middle. Ah, that's weird. Cool, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, there is a star in the middle. I definitely want to remove that. Shoot. Okay, well, they have a brush tool. I guess we'll try this. This may work, do what I want to do here. I've processed this image like 5 times in with different amounts of data. It's just really frustrating that, like, yeah. There is a star removal tool, Splashy, and that's what we're having trouble. The problem is it's removing more than just the stars. So I'm trying to mask the areas that I don't want it to remove. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that just made us... It didn't leave a hole in the middle of it? Oh, well, that's stupid. What's up, Star Traveler? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, sorry for the lack of announcement earlier. I need to process. If I'm not streaming for a while, one of the reasons is because I'm working on editing YouTube videos, and I'm working on editing a new video about the mount, or the wedge, the new wedge that I built. But I need some astro photos, because you gotta have some, like, you know, some astro photos at the end, like the reveal shots, right? And so I'm like, okay, I'll just jump on a stream real quick, and I'll just process these photos, and then, you know, hang out with you guys and do a little streaming. But then, of course, then we have issues, and so I'm trying to draw a mask that doesn't include this, the center, the core. But it looks like, okay, it did do that. All right, okay, all right, all right. We just need to bring the blur amount way down. Okay, there we go. Let's try that. So we apply that mask and invert it. So that should protect the nebulosity from Star Exterminator. So hopefully it'll remove that core star, but leave the nebulosity alone. I think it is still going to subtract a little bit. Okay, there we go. So the central stars are there, a little bit of it nebulosity there. That's okay. So all right, that's fine. That was really annoying to have to do, but we got it. All right, let's see. Yeah, blur exterminator, star exterminator, noise exterminator. Oh, very fun. Oh, very cool. ASI 585 Pro, is that the color one? You said one-shot color narrowband filter, so yes, I guess that means that would be a color, yeah. Yeah, that's a bummer about living so far north, isn't it, Taka? I mean, one of the bummers. Okay, that's looking good. So now when I do a kind of the crazy super auto stretch, look at how much data there is in here. Wow, that's actually pretty great. And there's so much starting to come out of this. I really need more, even more time. Noise Exterminator does an amazing job. Okay, so next is the nonlinear stretch. Ah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, monochrome. I definitely want to get into mono one of these days. Okay, so now we non-linear stretch, and so I think I'm gonna do. I've played with this image a couple of different ways, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna darken the background, and there's a lot of detail in there. That's pretty wild. How much starts to show up. And when I first stretch this, I tend to keep the background a bit bright. We can always darken it up later. Yeah, okay. And then also now the so the core is blown out. So there's a couple of things I can do, but I think because it's blown out and it's such a solidly defined line there, I think I can just get away with using a range mask. You can see you can kind of do it with curves, but it gets tricky to keep the the other data from getting really crushed. So see if I pull this way back, actually, I don't know, that might work, but I have to do it in stages. So all I'll do is a preview. Do a preview so I can see that detail better. And yeah, I try to do things without, especially when adjusting brightness levels like this. Masks can introduce really strange artifacts, so I try not to, unless it's really necessary. Now here, because there's such a hard defined line around what's bright and what's not bright, then a mask can kind of do the trick. But I'm actually kind of able to pull it back here with curves, just kind of applying a bunch of curves adjustments so far, at least. And then there's also the HDR tools, but I think I want to kind of get it closer. So here I'm starting to get weird artifacts. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there. And there's a little bit of detail starting to come out. So we'll try... yeah, it might be. That might be. I'm not sure what the best workflow on this is, Taka. I'm going to try... let's see, we're going to try HDR multiscale transform. I've processed this a few times, and oh shit, damn it, fuck, I made that preview, but I didn't apply any of those settings. Yeah, I didn't apply any of those curves adjustments to the main image. I gotta do that again. So I'm applying a couple of spots on the curves to keep the the darker areas the same. And so I'm just bringing down the brightness on the brighter areas. Yeah, okay, this is actually, I think, is looking okay. So getting it, just trying to get it sort of manually close. No, you wouldn't. Like, it's super dim. So this is 11 hours of exposure time to get this outer ring to show up. And this was with a dual narrowband filter. And in all of the sub exposures, you can't see it. So here's a single sub, and there's like nothing around the outside there. Okay, so now we'll try HDR multiscale transform. And I think if you turn on lightness mask, I think that's the trick. So sort of, it's kind of not what I wanted. Kind of play around with the number of layers and the settings here. Okay, that's definitely not right. Let's see, let's use 7 layers, try that. Yeah, trying some magic. Yeah, it's getting kind of weird. Okay, I think I'm gonna try a, I think at this point I'm gonna try a range mask. make a pretty soft range mask here. Okay, now we'll go curves and we'll just try to bring the whole thing down. So yeah, you see how if I pull this down, this is obviously too much, but you see I get the dark ringing around here. So I need to adjust that range mask to use less data. So I'm just going to close that and go back to my range selection, and I need to increase the lower limit. And so it's really tricky to get this to, you know, select the right amount. Just kind of got to trial and error it. Let's try that. Go back to the preview and then here. And let's see, reset. A bit better, but it's still darkening this outside region. So it's sort of creating this weird ringing. So still not quite right. So not that. You know, maybe like that. It's leaving out a little bit of a donut in the middle. That may be ideal, actually. Let's see, that may be too soft. Yeah, okay, now I'm thinking I don't like the amount of softness on that. Yeah, this is a crappy way to work, because you just have to, all you can do is just kind of trial and error on the mask. And it's not a very good way to work. Yeah, I don't think that's going to look right either. Yeah, that's I mean, it's kind of I guess we can just do it in steps here. Just close that mask. Maybe now I can hit it with curves without a mask. Yeah. You've never edited a nebulae? A nebula? Okay, maybe now we can do maybe now we can do HDR multiscale transform. We can just be like subtle with that. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, nebula are, yeah, definitely the best. Could go with that. I don't know if I like that. I think it looks a little over processed and looks a little weird. I'm gonna try. There's a script called. I have a script called Create HDR Image, which sometimes can do a pretty good job. Oh, okay. So you got your telescope like right at the start of galaxy season. Yeah, nebula is where, you know, all the color is, and Okay, so this script creates an HDR image, and so we just change the number of layers to get different results. So I'll try 4. And what does 9 look like? We'll try one side of one extreme, then we'll try the other extreme. See which direction we kind of need to go. I'm not seeing any difference. That's weird. Oh no, there we go. Okay. Yeah, actually I think 4 is starting to look pretty good. Just takes a little while. Yeah, well, fall, like you said, August, September, October, November, December, lots of brilliant nebula to shoot. Okay, so that's, I think, is looking pretty good. Let me play with dropping down like the luminance. I'm gonna try to make that like just a bit darker. The script is a little bit funky to use because it takes a long time to update. I guess that's okay. That didn't really seem to make much difference. I think we can go with that though, and then we can do curves adjustment to get more color out of that later. Okay, we'll just accept that. So this makes a new image. Okay, kill that. And let's do. I'm gonna rename this ORIG for original, and I'm gonna call this one I. And I can do a PixInsight has this new cool feature. We can link them together, and this will allow us to get a good side-by-side comparison. Yeah, so now I can see what in the... Oh, I got the wrong tool. Yeah, so now we can get a good side-by-side comparison. And yeah, actually I'm starting to like what I'm seeing on the right here. Crazy amount of detail around the outside of the main ring there, which is pretty awesome to see. Oh, whoops, I don't want to close that. We'll just minimize and bring that up. Okay, so now we want to do some more curves adjustments to actually, I think maybe what we'll do now is now I'll do some local histogram equalization, but I do need to select the brighter areas here, make a mask. And let's mask that off. Control K. Local histogram equalization. And we'll just do kind of a subtle. Yeah, that's kind of good. It makes the dimmer areas brighter. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. So then we want to do another mask of the brighter area. just kind of the core of it there. And then more local histogram equalization. What's up, Hero? Good afternoon. Or evening, if that's evening where you're at. Okay, now we're starting to get where I want to see. Okay, I'm kind of happy with where that is, I think. I think that's a good balance. We can see a lot of this outer nebulosity and a lot of the detail on the inside of there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. There's a little galaxy up here too. It's cool to see. So now we want to do curves to, I think we just want to saturate it, and I think we'll look good. So I'm going to grab the curves, just going to give a preview. Yeah, I think that's cool, but I don't want to do it like that. I want to apply another mask because I don't want to saturate the background. Lots of masking. So the range mask too gives you a sort of way to preview. You can see how I have some background sky glow in there still. Maybe some gradient that didn't quite get removed that well. And so I just want to bring the range mask up until like most all of that goes away. And because we don't want to saturate the background. That'll look gross. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so now we'll just go to curves and oh, I forgot something else that I was going to kind of do, but maybe we'll process a couple of different versions of it. So we'll just kind of go maybe a little bit more saturation than that. A bit noisy in the data out here, but that's to be expected since it was such dim target there. Okay, now I'll invert the mask, and then I will desaturate the background. A subtle change, but I think one that will be nice to have. And then I'm going to just bring the darkness of the background down a little bit more with that masked off, so that'll just make the background a bit darker. Okay, get rid of the mask. Oh, actually don't get rid of the mask. I might want that in a minute. I'm going to do one other thing. I will remove the mask, and I'm going to try another script from SETI Astro, the perfect palette picker. And I think I might have needed to do this before the linear stretch, but I will use this to create palettes. What I want to do is I want to do like an HHO color palette, because this gives me, right now I have like a green and orange, and I want like a blue and pink. And yeah, this is going to be really ugly and noisy, so I have to do this before it's stretched. I forgot that I wanted to do that. Yeah, so that's going to look really, those are the colors that I want, but that's going to look really ugly. So let me, I'll make a clone and I'll put that away. So I'm going to have to redo everything that I just did. All these curve transformations. Oh, actually before the histogram transformation. Oh, that's this one. Oh, wait a minute. Did I want to do that one? Yeah, probably. Let's see, how do I desynchronize? Wait. Desynchronize, yeah, okay. Okay, so this one now is the nonlinear. I'm gonna go back to there to get my auto stretch data, and then here. Okay, so now I'll do script SETI Astro perfect palette picker. Where is that? It's there, I swear. Okay, now I will do original and yeah, create palettes. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, okay, so now well, HOO is not the right color. How did I do this before? Let me try this one. The reason it was bad before because I had linear input data selected. Yeah, there we go. That's actually... That's actually pretty great. Yeah, right there. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think that's the colors I wanted. So it's sort of orange, and then this is like more of a pink. And yeah, I think it doesn't... I think that does a great job. It doesn't really... Try to position those so you can see them side by side. Yeah, it doesn't really introduce noise. I don't think so. Any more noise than that's what's already there. But I like to see this pink instead of this orange. The one-shot color camera gives you this sort of orange color. And so by doing an HOO palette with it, then it kind of recombines it and makes it look the pink that it would look, that it should look like. So, okay, so I'm gonna put this just rename that and put that away. And this one, I'm gonna call that one I. And then we just need stars. Whoops. And I use another SETI Astro script for that. Star stretch. Oh no, actually we want to do script SETI Astro narrowband to RGB star combination. And then we just grab my stars. And we'll apply a star stretch, and I usually bring this down a bit. Maybe 4.3, and we'll hit execute. So this will stretch and make the stars the right color. Colors. And, okay, get rid of that. We'll just pop this, call this a quick S so we know it's filled with stars, and then recombine the stars. And there we go. Kind of noisy when you zoom in, but overall, I think pretty great. Let's take a look at my previous picture of that. Let's see, where is that? M57 starts with M, right? M57, yeah, this one, I think. Yeah, so look at how much more data I've got here. This is pretty great. So this is, oh, only an hour and 32 minutes. Right? Did I have more than that? Ring. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, that's an hour and 32 minutes versus this one, which is like 11 hours. So yeah, a lot more data. That's good to see coming out of there on this outside ring part. The ring outside of the ring. Oh, this one too. I did a little bit different work on the color to get the green out of there. So let's try that. So I'm gonna undo the stars, get the stars out of there. I could just try SCNR. Let's try that first. That's the easiest. I'll drop the amount down to like 0.9 so it's less aggressive. That sort of does it, but I don't like that. Maybe if I just drop the amount down by quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think I like that either. I think what I did was a curves adjustment and just change the hue value. Yeah, that looks like probably what I did, but I need to be able to see what I'm working on here. So I'm gonna put this over like up here, and then I need a preview. Trying to match colors is always like the hardest thing for me. All right, so now I think I just mess with the hue until I get that sort of tealish blue. Going that way gives me more green. I don't quite get, I get sort of a purplish blue, which I don't want to see a purplish blue. How did I get that? I can pull the green out of it a bit. It's a bit closer. No, I don't think that's right. Yeah, I suck at the... I suck at curves. I suck at trying to color balance. Like that's like such a nice... It's like such a nice sort of vibrant blue. And I just don't know how that I got it to... Yeah, be like that. I mean, I can push the hue to get... I don't have a mask on, do I? No, okay. Well, maybe I'm back to trying SCNR. Yeah, it just turns it into kind of like a dark, dull, dark blue. Ah. Maybe I need to document my processing steps or something. I can try saturating the blue now. Okay, maybe that kind of gets me there. Okay, a bit. But now I'm looking, oh, I've got some weird funky crap. Yeah, I kind of need to start over. All right, I gotta get some water. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back. It's too hot in here. Loose. All right, I think I need to start over. I'm getting too far deep into, too far deep, and just things are looking kind of ugly. So I'm gonna start over. Kind of have an idea now of like where I need to go, what I need to do. Okay, so there's my original. And I think I want to do the palette picker first. Yeah, okay, let's try get the colors, the right palette, and then do all the processing of the HDR stuff. I think I had some weird thing going on. Perfect palette picker, okay. So original and then create palettes. So this was kind of weird when I tried it. It was not the HOO, the colors were like revert. Yeah, the colors are reversed. I'm not, I guess OHH then would be what I want, which kind of looks like right. I'll try that. And I believe that stretched it. Is that stretched? Yeah, that's stretched. Does some kind of weird stuff with the background. And maybe I don't want to do it this way. Yeah, okay, that does weird stuff. Okay, don't want that. Let's stretch it first then. Okay, let's go histogram transformation. Something like that, I think. Okay, so let's get that bigger. And then If it curves. Can't tell. I think the data's in there. Yeah, like the outside portion of the ring was just like flat with no colors. So, let's try script. We're gonna try create HDR image from this step. Ah, this thing just like bogs down. Okay, okay, that's 6 layers. I think we wanted like 4 the last time. Let's see if this gets kind of close to what we want. So it's like, yeah, significantly underexposed there, or overexposed. Crap. Try the blend amount. There's just no color data in there now. Yeah, maybe I didn't want to stretch it like that. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Maybe I want to just, like somebody was, I think Taka was mentioning, maybe I do want to stretch this in like 2 separate. I just stretch it like that amount. And then I guess I could mask it and then stretch it more. What if I do a luminance mask? Whoops, not RGB. What if I do a luminance mask? Luminance mask, and then we'll stretch it more. Oh, okay. This may be. Here we go. This is maybe kind of working, right? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm sort of looking at. Yeah, okay, that's doing weird stuff. So not that. Let's do... All right, let's remove the mask. Let's try... Yeah, generally if you're manually creating masks like this, you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, maybe this is not the good way to do it. We're gonna try a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my mask and then I'm gonna blow the mask up like that. Okay, and I will Whoops. We have the mask. Yeah, I had the mask selected wrong. Okay, now let's see. Oh my god, that's really strange. Okay, so that gets really weird. Yeah, that's not right. That gets really weird. Let's try a range mask. That way I can blend it. Oh, that's going to be too much. Yeah, this is a crappy workflow. There's definitely a better way to do this. Okay, that might be okay. Yeah, it still does weird stuff. Yeah, masking is not the right way to do this, because you just get kind of weird artifacts. I mean, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's kind of okay. I don't know. I'm not happy with it. This processing, you know, is pretty okay with it. I guess it's trickier now since I have so much more lighter area around there. I don't know. Maybe that's okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna move on with this. We'll go from here. So now we'll do the palette picker. And we'll grab my original and create not linear input data. Okay, so that's where we're looking at right there. This is my older version. And that's my newer one. Right versus left. Yeah, okay, maybe I was being a little bit too harsh on myself. That looks maybe okay. Let me try to get the colors a little bit closer. I'll try SCNR bring that green down. And then we'll go back and saturate it in a minute. So next thing we want to do is, okay, now we go through local histogram equalization. This is like kind of funny. Like it seems like such a simple target. That the processing should be easy, but I guess that's not always the case. I think the easiest targets to process are one where the nebulosity fills the frame, because kind of no matter what you do there, it's gonna look good. Okay, a little bit of local histogram equalization on the whole thing. And then we'll do kill that mask. Give me another mask. Give me just the bright area. And then I will do more local histogram equalization. That's pretty subtle. Trying to enhance the detail in here. I think I want a different mask. I think I actually want more of that. Something more like that, maybe. It's a larger range selected. Okay, maybe that's more like what I want. Yeah, I guess that's pretty okay. All right, get rid of that mask. Okay, now we want to do, actually we want another mask. We want to select everything that's not background. And we want to saturate it. I'm selecting a bit of backgroundness in. Yeah, actually, let me do that a little bit better. I don't want to select that stuff up there as much. Yeah, so there's a little bit of bright bits here. But those are where we have glowy bits from stars. So when we put the stars back in, that'll look okay. All right, so let's go back curves, and then we will saturate. And I'll push the saturation kind of globally like that. And then let's a bit more. Okay, reset that, and then I want to invert the mask. Whoops. Oh God. Control Shift I. I didn't want to invert the didn't want to invert the image. I don't want to desaturate the background. Then I want to RGB and darken the background. Not completely dark. Yeah, just hide all those little fuzzy bits back there. A little more overall contrast. Okay, now I'm feeling kind of happy about how this looks. It looks maybe a little bit orange compared to the other one. But I think I'll just, yeah, maybe kind of go. Yeah, this has got this like nice teal blue, and this is kind of like a harder blue. I really like those colors, but I can't ever get colors to look the way I want. But we'll play with it a little bit. I need a preview, so that'll be bigger. So we're just trying to get like maybe like that. A little bit more green. Actually, I did want more green in it. A little bit more greenish blue. Yeah, then maybe if I bump the red channel up a bit. That makes that whole thing brighter. I don't think I want that. Maybe I'll just do like that. Makes the whole thing kind of pop more. All right. Put the stars back in. All right. What do we think? I think I want to saturate the stars more. Nice star field, but I think I want the stars to just look a little bit more colorful. So I'll grab the stars and do some curves on the stars. Just put a bit more saturation. Yeah. There we go. Okay, now I think, okay, all right. Maybe I can smile now. Ah. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's like, it's such a chore, you know, like processing images like this, and I don't know. Maybe I don't like it sometimes. Like, it's fun when you're getting the results that you want, but it can be frustrating when you're not. Wow. Yeah, okay. So on the right is an hour and a half of exposure time. On the left is 11 hours. The fainter area out here is pretty noisy. Maybe I kind of don't like that as much. Like maybe that's kind of stretched a little bit too far, and that would look better, more natural if that was, fainter, but not quite as faint as over here. But you can also just tell that it's not just brighter. There's definitely more data. There's structure in here. There's a clear, shell. There's a clear structure to this shape here that is kind of not really visible in this image. You can see out here too. So this is kind of the only thing that has color that I can shoot from the light pollution here. So, this thing may end up being like 40 hours. I'll just keep shooting it. Yeah. No, not exploded. Not exploded here. These planetary nebula are a gentle shedding of their outer layers. Not an explosion. So, and not exactly a dead star. I mean, the star is still there, but it's like a white dwarf star. It's, you know, it's a shell of its former self, you might say. But a supernova is a star that has exploded. And those are, you know, larger, more energetic events. So this is a planetary nebula. Supernova would be like the Veil Nebula. That would be like this. And you can really kind of tell how, yeah. Exactly, yeah, it's a white dwarf star, so it's, you know, what's left over. And it's not really nuclear fusing anymore, so it's not like an active star. But a supernova, you can tell by how the gas, the difference in the way the gas looks, just kind of how energetic it is. You know, this gas is, you know, these are like fine filaments. And so you can really kind of get the, and kind of like aggressive shapes, right? So you can really get the impression that this gas is, at least at one point, had been accelerated really fast, like stripped apart, right? Like just thrown out there. Versus a planetary nebula like this, where the gas is just soft. I don't know, I can't make that noise, but just softly fluffing out like a soft marshmallow in space. Not like a violent, holy shit, right? So that's the Veil Nebula I shot last fall with my Rokinon lens out here. So pretty nice. I like that image. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this now. I think this is that's worthy to go in the video that I'm making. I'm kind of overworking on it. So this one I got the background a bit darker. I could do that on here. Maybe play with the curves a little bit. And curves, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the relative speeds they are. I'm sure they're not. I'm sure a planetary nebula, the gas is not going anywhere near as fast as a supernova. I mean, supernova is the most energetic events in the universe. Some of the most. Okay, just a teeny bit darker on the background there. I think I'll look that a little bit, make that look a little bit cleaner when I put the stars back in. Similar to the other image. Yeah, it looks okay. Maybe it's a little bit crushed, a little bit too dark in the background. I like these bright stars over here. These look cool. Has the appearance of the Horsehead Nebula changed over years? Has it changed because it's actually changed or because our imaging technology has improved? And that's a totally different situation. The Horsehead Nebula, those are star forming regions. So those are not gas expanding from dead stars. That's gas, either gas coalescing into form new stars or gas being blown away from the energy of the new stars, you know, the stellar winds from the new stars. We have time-lapse images of the Crab Nebula changing, which is a supernova that blew up like 1,000 years ago. There's like a you know, there's a GIF online that's like shows it like in 4 different stages. Star Traveler shared it at one point. Maybe he can find that again. Okay, I gotta save this and move on. Save as. That's pretty great. I'm pretty happy with that now. We're gonna add more data to it, but M57. Oh, I gotta get the integration time. 11 hours and 22 minutes. All right, file. I'll enhance. $11 hours, 22 minutes, and the date I processed that was 6-18. Oh, I actually need to save that again. 90% JPEG quality. That's what we need. Yeah, the horse head shot with the James Webb. It's pretty cool. All 3 of them there, Euclid, Hubble, and James Webb. Pretty great. It has changed because of time. Well, sure. I mean, all this stuff is changing, right? It's all constantly in motion. So, yeah. I just love the web image, how you can see all these galaxies behind it. Okay, I have one other image that I want to process that might look like shit. I have to stack it though. And actually I might need to go through and manually look at the data as well. M53. Oh, I actually just have 2 nights here, so maybe I don't have to. I think I've already gone through this data. This is one I've been having issues, been kind of struggling with. But yeah, we'll just stack these 2. This is a globular cluster, and I think kind of not the most interesting one to image or to look at. It's not very big, but you know, we'll get it up anyways. Yeah, it is very incredible, very much so, very much. So these were 120 seconds. Yeah, 120 seconds exposures. So darks, I will remove my 180s. Remove selected. Oh, I need darks for 120. Projects, calibration frames, and we'll add my darks. 120 seconds. My lights up clear, and I'll add M53. Just one night, and I have another. Not a lot of data on this, but it's just a star cluster, so shouldn't really need much. 2 hours and 58 minutes should be plenty. M53, we'll make an output directory. Select that, and we'll enable 2x Gaussian drizzle, and we will run. Okay, I gotta go take a piss while this is running. I'll be right back. What's going on here? We are local normalizing the, yeah, doing some integration. Yeah, I got the wedge for my new telescope pretty much finished up. Did I post pics of that? Oh, you know what? I didn't really. Let me throw that up on the Discord real quick. I mean, I posted pictures, but I've got newer pictures from like last night and stuff. If you guys aren't on our Discord, check the Discord link on YouTube. I pinned it at the top. Did I pin it? I usually do. Yeah. Pinned it at the top. Check out the Discord. Been a lot of fun stuff going on up in there. Here we go. Post a couple new shots. You guys working on projects. It's fun to see. I appreciate you guys sharing sharing what you're working on in there and commenting and chatting. It's a lot of fun. Open in browser. So there's the new wedge with CNC machine parts. I'm working on the video for this project, and the CAD files will be released along with the video. They're actually already on shape, so if you want the CAD files, let me know. I'm getting the video finished, and I wanted to process these photos, these images for the video, because you can't have an astrophotography related video without showing like an image at the end or something. So yeah, we'll post that in there. So far, it's been working pretty good. I did remake one of these parts, one of these 3D printed parts. I just reprinted it because I tweaked it a little bit to make it work better, make it work more better. So the problem with that is I kind of have to dismantle the whole thing in order to be able to install it. Kind of an oversight on my part. Actually, wait, do I? Do I have to? Maybe I do. Thank you, Star Traveler. Yeah, I have to dismantle it. Yeah, I worked on the cable management a bit recently. It's still maybe not ideal. This sort of main chunk of cables coming off of the imaging system can kind of snag on there. A lot of people mount their imaging computer on the telescope, and the advantage to that is then you don't have cables that have to cross the rotational boundaries, right, between the RA and declination axis. So you'd really just kind of need like one cable instead of this chunk of cable. The problem with the chunk of cable is if you bind a bunch of cables together, then the powers of their combination becomes like one big heavy stiff cable, which can, you know, if that starts to drag or snag somewhere, then it's going to be worse than, you know, one lighter weight cable, right? That's stiffer. So kind of not ideal, but I don't want to mount any more payload on the moving part of the scope. So, you know, it's a trade-off. Seems to work okay. I've got 2 nights in a row of really good results, so I think it's pretty okay. I've got just like a dopey twisty tie right here. I mean, it works. I'd like to replace that with maybe a Velcro strap or something, just because it looks nicer. But it doesn't really need to be, you know. So, but it's been working pretty good. It's been working pretty good. One of the main issues that I've been having with this rig has really just been consistency. You know, it get like 5 good exposures, then 1 bad one, then 4 good, then 1 bad, then 10 good, then 1 bad, and you know, I don't know, maybe having to throw away 1 in 10 sub exposures or 2 in 10 or something like that. And things like flexibility, wobbliness, cable drag, all that can lead to that lack of consistency, right? Any little bit of cable dragging, you know, any little bit of snagging, any little bit of flexing, wind, breeze, whatever, and that exposure is ruined. So last few nights were pretty consistent. I can screw a hole in the wedge and use it as a screw clamp. Yep, I could. I kind of don't want to because the parts look really nice, and I don't want to mess them up. The guys at JLC CNC did an incredible job. Honestly, like the quality of these parts is phenomenally good, and kind of don't want to mess them up. But yeah, I could do something like that. So, but I don't really want to clamp the wires. They're all kind of bound loosely. Maybe it doesn't quite look like it, but this twisty tie here and this Velcro strap here, they're all kind of loose so that it can pull, the whole chunk of cables can pull through a little bit if it needs to. In case it goes to some angle that I didn't anticipate, you know, I don't want it to just like literally rip the cables out, right? There's enough torque in those stepper motors and harmonic gear drives that, yeah, it could just shred connectors. So don't want to do that. So I do want them to be able to slide and move a bit. So how are we doing on my integration here? Oh, it's done. Yay. All right, we will go here. So this I did shoot with the narrowband filter, which I didn't need to do because with the dual narrowband filter, because it's star cluster. Yeah, that ends up looking, it's a little soft and blurry. I mean, Blur Exterminator is going to make quick work of that. But this is the one where I just was, this target just having egg-shaped stars. And I've got an idea of what's going on with that. And I've been able to improve it a little bit. A bit, yeah. But, so let's, this one should be pretty quick to process. Let's see, the multi-scale gradient transform may not have data for this part of the sky, the Mars database. So if this doesn't work, we will just use Graxpert. Okay, gradient model removed. Guess that looks okay. Not too bad. And color calibration. Grab this preview here. Length auto stretch to see how that looks, and that indeed looks okay. And then we will run Blur Exterminator. Then we'll be up nice and sharp. Okay, yeah, Blur Exterminator does its magic, and then all of a sudden stars are quite round, and the cluster here looks really great. Then we will run Noise Exterminator. Should be no need to subtract the stars, since it's basically just an all-stars image, an all-star image, if you will. We'll try Yeah, that looks pretty good. So actually I should be able to just do, oh, we want to do, yeah, we want to do SETI Astros. Let's see. So this might get a little bit weird. We want to do a narrowband to stars recombine. And let's see what this does. This might get weird because it's not a full stars image. Okay, it stretched it like crazy. It way overstretched it. So can I... Yeah, I guess that's okay there, right? Just darken the background here like this. Ooh, gonna knock this thing over. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty, pretty okay. Now I think this is another one where I can do a do HDR multi-scale transform on to get the core a little bit less. Although maybe I don't want to. Actually, yeah, you know what? On here, I think I don't want to. I think I like the way that looks. I think that looks pretty good. Like that smaller globular cluster than like M13. But yeah, I think I like that. Let me do some curves. I think I want to darken the background. I definitely got some glow. Not very good gradient removal there. Maybe I should go back. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try Graxpert instead on here. Maybe the multi-scale gradient transform tool just didn't work very well on here, so I'll just try Graxpert. Get a little bit better background. Yeah, there's sort of this like brownish glow down here that seems present in this image over here. So I think this one will be better. Better background there. So let's go through the steps again. Got to start over. So do a color calibration. Whoops. That should make everything look not green. Clear that out. Blur exterminator. Okay, that looks great. And then we will run noise exterminator. Yeah, much better looking, cleaner looking background here. So yeah, let's go back to SETI Astros star stretch script, and we will grab that one. Oh, whoops, no, I want to grab say NB to RGB star combination. That one. What if I don't apply the star stretch? Okay, actually I do think that is what I wanted to do. That looks really ugly because it's like way overstretched. So, but that's okay. Because we're going to do some, we can just stretch it on our own. This one. Something like that. Although now I think the colors don't look quite as good. Well, maybe they just need some saturation. Yeah, in the core there, the colors don't look... Yeah, okay, let's try... Yeah, let's close that. And we'll go back to here. And we'll redo the star stretch. The narrowband to RGB stars recombination. And hit execute. Okay, so this way, I guess, doesn't stretch the background. But that's all right. We can work with that. Something like that's probably pretty okay. There's a bit more brightness in the core to bring out. There we go. Okay, starting to look like what I'm seeing there. I might want to try the HDR multiscale transform a little bit because it's just kind of, you get kind of a dull, glowy blob there. And I think I've done this on globulars before. HDR multiscale transform. And we'll just try the default setting. Yeah. So it just kind of dulls the center. I don't know, maybe I don't quite, it gets a bit too strong. What if I drop that down to 3 layers? Okay, that's more than I want. So maybe 6 layers? Okay, yeah. Just kind of a little bit subtle. Not, you don't want to bring the brightness down too much. But I just want to look at like, I want it to look a little bit less glowy in the core there. And look more like individual stars, right? Maybe that's a bit much still. Maybe I'll try 7 layers. I mean, it should be brighter and kind of more glowy in the core because there's more stars there. But let's see, did that even do anything at all? That was super subtle. Yeah, maybe we'll go with that. Maybe we'll go kind of super subtle on it. And then, yeah, just some more curves and for some saturation. But we do have still a bit of background glow here. So maybe I want to try a range selection. Let's try this range selection, and we'll just saturate those brighter areas. Curves, and bring the saturation up. Nice and colorful globulars. Do we like colorful do we like colorful globulars, chat? What's your taste on those? Pretty good. Good colors, blues and yellows, no green in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring down the oh, wait, I think I wanted to... Yeah, okay, so now I want to bring down the the background a bit. A little bit more contrast. And the saturation, bring it way down. Oh, whoops. Oh, dumb. Close the wrong thing. Okay. M53 globular cluster, there it is. This thing has kind of been my nemesis over the past couple of weeks, honestly. And because I've been having trouble with getting these stars to be round. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Not the most amazing target to see, but, you know, it'll be another stamp to collect, as they call it. Because of the issues I've been having, I redesigned the mirror cell. And some of you guys might have seen this in the Discord. Here it is. The new mirror cell has 4 wiffle trees instead of 3. 4 spaced evenly around. So every 45 degrees. So there's 8 contact points now. It's still not perfect, but I think it's better. I believe I've been having issues with astigmatism. The primary mirror not getting pinched, but being deformed by its own weight or something, or because of, like, pressure points on these wiffle tree supports. So, yeah. So I added an extra one. So now I have 8 contact points, 4 wiffle trees instead of just 1. I think it's better than it was. It's still not quite perfect. So might need some more iteration. I might try soft plastic instead of these hard bearings. There's a few ways to go with that, but I've been dealing with that. It's going on the Wall of Fame. And here's a pic from Star Traveler, the Dumbbell Nebula M27. Look at that, bright green. This looks like Slimer. The Slimer Nebula. It's the Slimer Nebula. Cool, man. Nice shot. I should watch Ghostbusters again. It's been a while. Okay, let me save this one off here. Save this one out. M53. And the date today is 6/18/25. Oh, so you had outer structure, but then you crushed it in the background? So you could definitely bring that out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, there's definitely an outer shell to the dumbbell. Do you want to share your data and I can pop it in PixInsight and see what I can get with it? Star Traveler? Although I do kind of got to bounce pretty soon. All right, so that's a couple of pics we processed today. Pretty happy with what I was able to get out of the Ring Nebula, and there'll be more to come with it. Yeah, maybe another time. Yeah, I do think I need to bounce, actually. I got some stuff going on this afternoon, and well, I really need to work on finishing editing this video. And I don't know, I could edit video on stream, but I don't know, I think that would be kind of lame. But yeah, I should really work on editing that video, and I kind of need some caffeine. So, and I'm all out of caffeine drinks. I have coffee. I can make some coffee. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. All right, I think I'm gonna bounce. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Yeah, Star Traveler another time. We'll look at your image. Maybe process that. Be fun. Process the Ring Nebula again today, up to 11 hours, 22 minutes on this. Pretty happy with where this is. I'll need to maybe think a bit more about the HDR processing aspect of it. Very tricky. And then Globular Cluster M53. Nice to get this one looking decent. So I've kind of been having some issues with it, but there it is. So yeah, I'm working on, I needed these two images because I'm working on the video about the new wedge for my mount. The video is almost done. I just need to kind of add these pictures in there. 45 minutes to upload. Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, maybe we'll look at it. Maybe we'll stream tomorrow or something and can look at it. Might be kind of fun. But yeah, so I should be able to get that video finished and uploaded and online maybe by this weekend. So we'll see about that. And that'll be on my YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, well, you're on my channel already. If you're on Discord, !YouTube will get you my YouTube channel. After that, I've got, probably will do another video about, a video about the new mirror cell. So another video about that telescope. And then, because there's kind of some interesting info in there. Maybe I'll do a little bit more development work before making a video. I don't know, I've already shot some. Then I've got a product review to do. A company sent me a cool couple of products to review. That'll be fun. And then, oh, I've got another project video. Yeah, the artificial star project, which is also kind of stalled, and I kind of gave up on it. I don't know. It's situation developing. So I've got a bunch of stuff, and then next week is the new moon. I'm hoping to spend several days out, maybe 3 or 4 nights. That would be a long trip, but I want to get some really good new data, and then we'll process that on the stream. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Peace.